This Morning on this Monday morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and of course, joining me live in studio, Town Manager Tom Lynch. Tom, good morning.
Good morning. Did you have a nice weekend?
I had a fabulous weekend. How about you?
Great. And, you know, if you're reading the newspaper, you saw all the graduations this weekend. So it's really a weekend of hope and excitement for a lot of families, a lot of individuals, and hopefully they'll all go on to great success in the future.
Absolutely. My Facebook feed was just full of graduates in caps and gowns all weekend in a variety of colors from all over the Cape. It was,
the
so
weather
good
seemed
to
to hold off fine for them, so it was very good.
Exactly. Good stuff. A good weekend for getting out there and doing things. But wanted to talk first, Sail Cape Cod. This is such a wonderful program that started just a few years ago here in town, adaptive sailing.
Well, and on Friday evening they had a fundraiser and really an unveiling for their new adaptive sailboat. And I went down to that for a brief period of time and saw several, it was awfully nice, saw a lot of Barnstable employees who have kind of embraced this particular project. But thanks to the Lyndon P. LaRusso Foundation, you know, the Sail Cape Cod has acquired this new adaptive sailboat. It's called a Far East 18-foot keelboat, and it's part of the Sail Cape Cod's Sea Legs program that they have. And the boat is custom outfitted with equipment that allows accommodates people with physical disabilities. You can move the seat that you can steer from up and down, and there are also ways that the sailor can help with the sheet or actually do some steering if they're capable of doing that. So it's really it's a very stable boat. It's really exciting to think that people of all abilities can get out onto the water. So I know that they've had help from Sturgis Boat Works and a gentleman named Matt Wake, who's worked very hard with them on procuring this boat. And the vessel's been named Lila after Lyndon's mother, so that was
wonderful.
very nice. And it was just exciting to see the boat and the excitement that's there among all those that are participating in this program. So and there's, the town has participated in a couple of ways. One, we have got some space where we can put in a lift so that if individuals need that service to actually get onto the boat, that's available down near the Gary Brown boat ramp. And also we're very just supportive in terms of helping them move forward with this whole project.
It's a really wonderful program.
It's really good.
Great to have that access. And of course, Center Focus, very long meeting on Thursday night, but a lot was accomplished. Operating budget, making it through.
Well, at last Monday we talked about some of the issues that we expected to come up and the process that was going to be followed, and it went quite a bit according to form. The Comprehensive Financial Advisory Committee got up and they did a report. I saw some of that on your news this morning already, but it was good to see them acknowledge the hard work that our finance team puts into place. And in their comprehensive report, they often will make suggestions about things that they see positive with the budget or things that they think that perhaps we should improve, and they'll compliment us on having established a certain account or gone down a direction that way. They also take the time to look at areas that they think maybe we should be looking at. The payment in lieu of taxes program has come up over the years. They often talk about independent districts that might need a little bit of attention in the way we might change the way the taxation works there. I was pleased with the comprehensiveness of the report. Quite a bit on education this year, which was always good to see, and we thank the committee for all the work that they do in looking this over. And after that, Mark Milne and I went through our presentation that we did quite a bit of on last Monday to talk about those priorities that we were out there funding. But the thing that I think that's always good about the budget presentation is that the various departments spend quite a bit of time preparing for the councilors, because it's a chance for them to talk about the programs that they operate, the value of the service that they have to the community. So, for instance, the airport was first up, and they they did, among, as part of their report, they did airport by the numbers, and they had 2,135 jobs that are associated with the airport, a payroll of 85.3 million. They talked about the regional economic impact of over 208 million per year to the community. They themselves have an annual operating budget of 7.3 million, and or actually 7.9 proposed for FY16. There are 25 year-round employees and 5 seasonal employees at the airport, and they had a chance to emphasize again that they're an enterprise fund, so they're not tax funded. They operate with full cost recovery from fees and other services that they provide. So it was, and each of them also have a chance to look at all of their major accomplishments that they do. And the airport's very good about putting photos in, so you can see the new centralized de-icing pad that they put in, and the taxiway alpha that they constructed through the capital improvement plan. So it's good to see that. Then the police department, I wanted to pick up a little bit on what you were talking about too this morning with the community impact unit, because that's a service that the chief realized we needed. He wanted to have those kinds of offices on the main street all the time. He talked in his presentation about how they can spend a lot of time just on one client, and they're thinking of them more along those lines because they're trying to get the individuals into some sort of services. But they're trying to utilize, as he talked about their goals, utilize jail diversion. They want to support the NOAA shelter, because this is all dealing with the homelessness issue that we have out there. They utilize a collaborative approach between law enforcement and social service agencies. We talk a lot about community policing, and that goal is right there. It's not just a matter of going out and seeing an infraction, arresting the person. They're trying to keep the person out of jail, but get them into the needed services that are there. So we've added another person to that. They're doing a lot of work on that. The other thing that the police did very well in their report is they took each of their decision packages, and those are items that are submitted to us through the fall. We look at them, decide what we're going to be able to fund and not fund, and the chief was very good about going down all of those, so he could talk about the replacement that we had for all of the weapons that the patrol carry. We talk about the new police vehicles that are going to be there, the monies we put aside for training for the new officers, that are 7 new officers that are going to be coming on board. So again, it's a chance for someone to learn a lot about what's going on in different agencies.
It really is, and our departments do so much throughout the course of the year, and this is a great time for the residents, if you want to learn more about what the departments do, to kind of take a look back at the year and look ahead and see what their goals are and what their accomplishments have been. And I think all of the departments so far have really done a good job at taking that comprehensive look at what they do.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to watch the whole
yes
the whole 3-4 hour long meeting. You can go on and just pull out what you want. The schools were very well received this year, but they made a lot of changes too. They had to cut some positions, but they added positions in other areas so they can. There's a multi-tiered program that they have now where they're trying to hit students at the academic level they're working on, and put support services right into the classroom so they can see during that block of time that they're working on English, math, whatever the subject matter might be, that they've got support help in there to move along with the speed that the class is moving along at. So they had a very comprehensive report, and of course it was Dr. Kachowski's last budget, and she was very well received. Regulatory Services had a very comprehensive report where they looked at their accomplishments for the whole department. They looked at Regulatory Services goals, and they did that for each of their divisions. So if you're wondering you know, how are they looking to improve? What are they looking to do in the following year? There's just a lot of information that's there. And we were very appreciative of all of the questions that came from counselors. And in some instances, they weren't so much questions as following up on the very points that they made about their agency to say, you know, you've been talking about being more business-friendly regulatory services, and that's one of your goals, which I had someone go down, here's how they were treated, thank you for that, you know, because you know, our counselors are out there in the community all the time. They know what's going on, and they're going to hear if things are going well, or they're going to certainly hear if it's not going so well. So it's always nice to get positive feedback, and where it's justified, where we need to correct issues, we'll go ahead and do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so we made it through, our council made it through a big portion of the budget. What is next for review?
We won't be having a special meeting on June 11th. The council president, Jessica Rapcasetti, felt that we had community services left. We have DPW, two big departments, but also two departments that are pretty crisp with their presentation. So even though there'll be several enterprise accounts under each of those major departments, I think we can move pretty quickly through those. And then we have the libraries and tourism budget to do, and that should wrap it up. So there'll be other issues that we can talk about next week that are also going to be on the town council agenda on the 18th, because we have some community preservation funding issues coming up and some conservation restrictions. But those, from a budget perspective, I think we're going to meet the objective we talked about of being able to do it in 2 evenings.
Excellent. Like that efficiency. All good. Well, Tom, thank you so much as always for stopping by, and have a great week. We'll check in with you again next Monday.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Tom Lynch, of course, our town manager here in the town of Barnstable. We are going to learn a little bit about the Mandarin Chinese program at Barnstable High, but first, Captain Gary Brown's got today's vision.